Peace, love, and light, y'all. Welcome back to the Mental Health Minute with your boy, Ja. Well, today's Mental Health Minute has been brought to you by Bronfrenbrenner. And Bronfrenbrenner is a psychologist that did his work and became famous in the 1970s. And during the 1970s, this child psychologist realized that children cannot be examined in the current paradigm that psychology currently had at that time. What he realized was children are influenced by all these fears around them, all these systems around them. And Bronfenbrenner coined the Bronfrenbrenner ecological systems theory of childhood development. Now, I actually use this theory in my psychological practices, in my therapeutic practice, and what I do with this theory is examine the client through 5 different spheres, 5 different systems, and realize that all of these systems interplay and influence the client's thoughts, feelings, and behaviors. And the 5 systems are the microsystem, the mesosystem, the exosystem, and the macrosystem, and the chronosystem. And the microsystem is the first system, that's the first level of interaction that the child has. So that comes from the child's immediate environment, that first microsystem, the immediate environment for that person. And I don't just look at it for children. I look at it from birth to the entire lifespan. So that first system, the microsystem, the immediate environment, that immediate environment includes your peers, your brothers and sisters, your schoolmates, your teacher, your coaches, your teammates, your co-workers, your boyfriend, people that you interact with on the regular basis, that immediate system of environment in which you interact with. The next system is the mesosystem. The mesosystem can be the institutions that are inhabited by a client. For example, you go to work every day, their boss and them talking about you would actually be a part of your mesosystem. Your spouse and his parents and his family and their value and opinions of you is actually you're part of your mesosystem. The mesosystem for the child. The interaction between the child's parents and the teachers and the school and the principal. That is a child part of that actually influences the child's thoughts, feelings, and behaviors. The next system, the exosystem, and the exosystem would be more of the actual environment that you inhabit. For example, your neighborhood is a part of your exosystem. Your work, if you're a child, the parents' workplace is a part of how the parent interacts with their co-workers and comes home and brings that energy into their home, influences the child. When the man or woman, the boyfriend, the girlfriend, the spouse goes out and works and comes home, by the time she comes home and he comes home, whatever that person dealt with and brings to your lap is a part of your exosystem, the macrosystem. And this is really where I focus on the unseen and the unspoken as far as the client and what other entities they're bringing to the table that influences thoughts, feelings, and behaviors. And that would be the client's socioeconomic status, wealth, poverty, ethnicity, race, gender, sexuality, all of that stuff, of immigrant status, language barrier, all of that stuff makes up part of the macro system, and that influences the way that a person interacts with their everyday world. That influences the way the person sees the world. That influences the way the world reacts to them and their perspective of things. So we can't have a client in therapy and ignore the macro system. All of that stuff I just talked about, how much money that they're making every day. Are they struggling financially? Do they come from a background that is socioeconomically advantageous? All of that stuff affects somebody's thoughts, feelings, and behaviors and the way they interact with the world. And the last but not least is the chronosystem. And the chronosystem is the environmental change that is in part of a person's makeup. So if a person grew up during World War II, they're going to be influenced in a certain way. If a person grew up during the 9/11 era, that's going to influence the way that they see the world. A millennial is going to act different and see the world differently than a Gen X person, and so on and so forth. So all of these chronosystems also influence the way that we view the world, and the client interacts with people, and the client's perspective of the world. So the George Floyd incident, that was a great example of a chronosystem, of a modern day chronosystem, and according to Bronfrenbrenner's ecological system theory. The George Floyd incident was a flashpoint, was a big flashpoint moment in American history and world history. So that's going to influence clients and their thoughts, their feelings and behaviors, their perspective on race, mood, all of that stuff, sadness, anger, all of that is a part of a person's makeup when they come to therapy. So I just wanted to share that little nugget with you guys, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for taking part in today's Mental Health Minute. This is your boy Ja. One love.